Good morning, people. Well, it's morning for me. Oh, still about 10:30, so yeah, morning. Um, this week, been an interesting week. Had a break in the middle. That was good. Had I can't remember if it came. I think it came after my last video. I had another. I did do a short. Actually, I had another nerd QX plus plus turn up. It's a fan one. And amazingly, it's so much quieter than the water, aqua, whatever you want to call it, hydro one. That's probably because of the pump. I don't know if it's a cheaper model pump or if they're just. It's been a long time since I had a water pump. I had one in my laptop, in my desktop for a while. One of these, like that one, sealed units. So maybe that, and also the Hydro one uses about 20 watts more power, which doesn't sound a lot, but that's kind of the power of another nerd, Bitaxe. I'm thinking the nerd bit, all confusing me. Yeah, Bitaxe is like 20 watts. So yeah, I'm kind of playing one. Do I sort of sell on my Hydro one and buy another air powered one, fan one, which it runs a lot quieter and takes up less electricity. Oh, by the way, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. I'll say that right in the middle just to see who's watching this far. Or do I get a heatsink and fan and just replace it for a heatsink and fan? Because you can get the same heatsink fans from AliExpress that are on the one that came. Do I do that? Do I kind of then repurpose it and make it an air cooled one? That's the thing is, with these little things, it's great for the hobby part is running it, but also it's doing these little hacks and messing around with the electrical bits. It's quite fun. But yeah, I'm at the moment. I'm thinking maybe I'll kind of sell it on and then get another one, but just to have it a little bit quieter because although the Hydro one actually is slightly better hash rates, so I think the new one goes about 4.6, 4.7, and the Hydro one's 4.8, 4.9. So you get better hash rates, but it does take a little bit more electricity, and it does run a little bit warm, a little bit louder. So that's the one thing, and then the next thing is one of my Bitaxes. So the very first Bitaxe I got always ran a little bit warmer than the other two. And I actually replaced the fan on it and heatsink on it for a better one. But the other day, I think it was yesterday, I noticed that it had decreased the ASIC frequency and level and the voltage. I was running just under 1 terahash rather than actually the 1.1 terahash. And I believe it was because it probably got over the heat threshold. It's like, okay, now I'm going to reduce it. It happened around 1, 2 o'clock in the morning from what I saw. So yeah, I thought, okay, it's automatically reduced it. At least it's not gone down to zero or kind of completely stopped saying, VReg error or some other over. I had overheat on it once where I took the heat sink off and I tested it instantly, went into like this stopped running mode because it knew that it was going to overheat. So at least into that, it actually reduced. And as I say, I'm losing probably what 200, 250 gigahash as opposed to what it was running before. So it's still running, and it's actually running a lot cooler. It's probably dropped the voltage regulators dropped by about 15 to 20 degrees, and I think the async has dropped down by about 10 degrees. So I might just leave it run at that and see how it goes because at the moment it seems to be running fine. I'm getting around between 8 and 900 gigahash, so it's not really a big loss. They're only fairly low in cost anyway compared to buying it from another company. You're probably able to get like an Ultra for the price that I got the Gamma for. So that was one thing. So all fun and games playing around with Bitcoin mining. And the other thing is I've been doing a bit more sort of Android development, another kind of thing that I've been playing around with. And I released another, I think there's only one since the last time, maybe two, because I can't remember if I did another one in the last week, but at least one I did last night, which is currently, I think the one I did last week, if I didn't mention it, it may not have been on the list, was I did a CSS viewer because I wanted to kind of pick elements on websites and see if I could get the CSS, and it seems to work. So I put that up on there because see if anybody's interested. And the one I did yesterday, or last 2 days really, is so it really annoys me having to log on to a website to go and check the current sort of hash rate and network hash rate and probability of mining certain coins and knowing what coins there are. So I kind of put an app which goes away and gets the information for all the coins. And I originally was just going to show off 256, but then I thought, you know what, let's do all of it. I was surprised how many come back and how many kind of entries in the settings page are for adding the hash rate for your mining hash rate. But this then goes off and it kind of uses the algorithm that was suggested to me to calculate, and it seems to be about right. I was checking it on some of the online ones, and there's always a little bit of discrepancy between the values of certain sites I've looked at, and this is within that discrepancy area. So it's as accurate as those, and you can run it on your phone, so I can actually use it. And that at the moment is going through review. So when that gets approved, hopefully approved, I should say, fingers crossed, then I will probably share it with you guys. See if anybody's interested in actually having just on your phone an easy kind of app to look up the current network. We can get things like the current value and stuff. It's not like a quick refresh. I think by default I've set it to 24 hours, but you can change that. But getting the current sort of value of a coin and the current network difficulty and using the hash rate that you enter, your probability of being able to, solo mine one, or find one, I should say. It's funny. I mean, it is mining per se, but it's just funny how it's more like chance rather than mining, because you've got a chance that your miner falls on a block that is about to, be a high enough hash rate to find it. So yeah, interesting week. All that and around, so obviously working every day. But yeah, hopefully I'll get that app up soon, so you can all have a look. Hopefully the Bitaxe will carry on, and maybe I'll have some updates on what I'm doing with the other NerdQaxe. NerdQaxe, yeah, got it right. Plus the Hydra one, because at the moment you probably hear it's not running because I've decided to turn off a little bit because I wanted to see what it's like running with just the one NerdQaxe, how much quieter it is, and it is considerably quieter. But as I said, you don't get as much hash rate. So yeah. Right, on that note, it's time for me to say bye-bye. Look out for the shorts. I'm doing more and more of them when I can, but they're very random. It's like when I want to. And most of these are kind of, at the moment, updates on the things I'm actually doing interesting at the moment for me. So hopefully you find them interesting. But if not, then thanks for watching anyway. And look out, I might do a history of my IT experience soon again. It's been a while. So yeah, thanks guys. And I will catch you all later. Bye for now.